viewers. Like if one of the viewers call you, he can be online asking you or talking to you, and then he say, okay, next is Mr. John, next is Peter, next is whatever. You know,
Yeah.
that'd be cool to do.
Good morning. This is
you're
yeah, we're online now. This is Paul from Paul's Asian Adventure, and he came over today and set up Baby May's new computer for me because I don't know anything about computers. And then I just showed him this app called StreamYard, or a program called StreamYard, because he's going to start live streaming. So I thought we would just do a little test run here. We'll be online for 30 minutes, and we'll just say hi. I know a lot of people over where we're normally broadcasting to are asleep right now. At least my group is. I know it's 7:30. It's time for bed.
Those are the old dogs. Huh?
The old dogs. Yeah. Well, we got the new dog. Our name is Paul.
Yeah.
His name is Paul. So we're just here saying hi to everybody, and thank you very much, Mr. Ron, for always hanging in there. You are a rock star, Frank. Living the dream. We are doing our best. Good morning from Seattle. Right on. And now over here, I'm going to be talking to him and you guys because I'm kind of just this first time experiencing this program and live streaming and all that type of stuff. And so over here, you can also you can hide somebody. You can block their comments and all that because you need a moderator on this normally. So
if you don't have a moderator and someone's putting some bad comments, you can just hide it.
That's right. You can delete it. You can hide it. You can do this.
But you don't have to approve all the comments first. You just
actually, these are not going to show up until you click on them. And what I do is I just click through them without screening them. I just go one after the other. Okay. If you have a moderator on here and they see somebody's making a snarky comment about your girlfriend or it's just ugly and you don't want the general public to see it, the moderator is on time lapse. They can delete that guy or block him. Yeah. Okay, so anyway, that's our conversation we're having. Thanks for coming along. And right here it tells you that 77 people, 84 people have joined our little live stream.
Okay.
So if you guys have any questions for Paul, please let us know.
This Paul.
No.
The new dog.
Good morning. All right, good morning. What's happening? We're just kind of, there you go, you know. Right on. Hey, what's up? So this is always fun because the reason you should be charging. Yeah.
I'm helping him
first.
Set
up my other computer.
I'm helping set up the computer.
It's a little tip
teacher Filmora as well. So we're helping each other, right?
That's it. Hey Texas, what's cooking over there? Right on. The weather today is up here. It's not that bad. It's always humid and hot.
Yesterday was really humid.
Yeah. Yesterday was a 12-hour brownout, and it was just an exercise of futility. Good morning, Kansas. My mother is from Coffeyville, Kansas. Coffeyville, Kansas. And Coffeyville, Kansas is famous because that's where the Dalton boys, which were a cowboy gang, got shot. That's a little piece of history for you, folks.
That would be famous for coffee.
No. All squared. That's a good one. That would have been a good title. As usual, I didn't put any thought into this. We just decided to go, what the frick, let's go live. Good morning. Hey, there's David. What's going on, man? Where are the girls at? They're
they're hiding.
Yeah, May is hiding in the other room, and Paul's girlfriend has gone to the cemetery, which is something that families do out here quite a bit. They visit the dead and pay respects. Yeah, that's us, Paul Square. Sunday in Seattle. Well, welcome aboard, James. We're only going to be here for a little while, kids. We're just kind of showing, wasn't planned. Norway, there you go.
God dag, Martin. Jeg er halvnorsk sjøl, så.
Hey, what's going on? What's on, buddy?
Yeah,
that's where he lives.
Hello from Boston. Been there once. Love the city. Clam chowder. It's good stuff.
Clam chowder sounds good. Good morning, James. Thanks for joining in, kids. We're just kind of farting around here this morning. No big agenda, no big topic. Is that from Barstow? Okay. Hotheads welcome. Why not? I have not. Have you?
No.
Okay.
No.
That's a double no. Which one's he talking to?
Which one, him or me or both? Maybe he means both. Hello, Texas.
Hey, Henry.
I live in
Thanks
Dallas.
from both
So.
of us.
Dallas and Houston.
Yeah, tell them a little bit about yourself, because these might be guys that.
Well, I am originally British by birth, and my mother is Norwegian, and I moved.
Oh, there we go. Okay, we're back.
So I moved to Egypt for a while. Lived all over the world, basically, but I moved from Norway to study in the U.S. to take my master's degree in engineering, and after I got my master's, I stayed in the U.S. and then I lived in Texas, Houston, Texas, Dallas, Texas. I lived in Bossier City. I lived in Tulsa, Oklahoma. McAllister, Oklahoma. I lived there also. So in the South, because I was in the oil industry, so that's where the oil is. So I moved around there. So,
yeah.
Yeah.
So what is your nationality? What do you consider to be your nationality?
You know, to be honest,
do you feel like you're British because you were born there?
No, I don't feel British because I moved there. I moved from England when I was 14 years old. I moved to Norway. And I've lived in the U.S. for 20 years. But the thing is, I don't have family in the U.S.
Okay.
My family is in Norway, and I feel that if somebody asks me what, like, it's Norwegian. I feel more Norwegian than anything else. So when I see Norwegians, I'm always like, I go and talk to them. You know, it's like,
okay, good.
Yeah. You know, and then it's the U.S. and then England last. I mean, I love England. Don't get me wrong. I love the country. I love the people. But I just haven't been there since I was 14. So it's not like
you don't have any family there.
I don't have family. I was just born there, and at the time I was born, if you were born in England, you became British if you wanted to. Kind of like the U.S. now. But that's changed in England. No longer if you're just born there are you British. So in the U.S., if you're born in the U.S., even if you have no ties with the U.S., you become American. So
right.
England used to be that way. So, yeah.
Now, your citizenship is?
British American.
So you have dual citizenship?
Yeah. I'm also going to apply. I was actually going to apply for Norwegian citizenship, but then this whole Corona thing happened.
Yeah.
I was actually going to go to Norway and try to get all that in order.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's
complicated.
See, when you're running from the FBI, you got to.
Yeah, you got to make up a story, you know.
You change your countries, names, nationalities. Actually, this is Jason Bourne.
Yeah.
Hello, Texas, Randy. Baby May's good. Baby May, you want to come say hi? Real quick. Come here. Come to Daddy. Say hi to everybody.
Hi, everybody.
Are you excited about your laptop?
Yeah, I'm so excited.
And you're going to have Paul put a computer program on there so you can edit it.
Yeah, it's called
Right?
Filmora. And that's now installed.
So that's now on there.
So once we're done here, we'll go on there and I'll show you a few tricks.
Thank you so much, Paul.
You're welcome. Before that.
Yeah.
30 years or 20 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a time lapse. It's a time lapse, right?
Facelift show.
Yeah.
I had a makeover. Let's see. I want to stay on there. Anyway. All right. And this thing, again, I'm talking to you, Paul.
Yeah.
This thing jumps. Find out where you were.
What do you mean by jumps? It's not
when
in
you get to
order
the
of
bottom,
time.
it is, but it see there's Mr. Ron. I'm trying to figure out where we were last.
Oh, okay.
And let's see. I think we're right about here. Oh, we got Toronto, Canada, saying good morning. And I tend to get a little lost. What would you do during it? Well, we had one yesterday.
We tried to do something, but
I
you want to
ended
tell
up-
the story?
Yeah. We were all going to meet at Oceans 24, which is like a swimming pool place.
Yeah.
And then there's another place called Forest Camp, which is, again, waterfalls and swimming holes and all that kind of stuff. And the bottom line is it was just everywhere was just brownout. Nothing was spared. The whole Dumaguete, Valencia, Bapong, as far as I know, everybody was lights out.
Everybody had the same idea.
And everybody had the same idea. And everybody bailed into those aforementioned places. And it was just so packed. Now, his day and my day were totally different. We were going to meet. I made an executive decision early on that I'm not going there. And guess what? We couldn't communicate with each other because we didn't have any internet. So I have data in his phone, but it never occurred to me to send him a message on the phone. So anyway, everybody was just kind of like out of
Doing their own
communication, out of sync. Nobody knew where anybody else was. We had all these plans. We want to make God laugh, don't we, plans? And then, so we ended up, May and I and my neighbor and his girlfriend, we just went to a coffee shop and hung out there for 3 hours and just kept ordering more stuff. So
We just missed
our
us.
seats.
We were,
And they were there early. We
Yeah.
just missed them by 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And then poor Paul, he drove around.
No,
you
around,
tell him, you
probably.
tell him what you did.
Well, we drove first to Ocean 24. No, we didn't go to Ocean 24 because we heard it was completely full. We went to this other place. I don't remember the name of it, but you know the area.
Forest
And then-
Camp or?
No, Forest Camp, the one beside the Smoky Mountain when you turn to the right.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I
don't
can't
know.
remember the name,
Yeah.
but I did a video blog on it, and that was completely full. And then about 500 meters up from there, or a kilometer maybe, it's a waterfall that's supposed to be really nice. That was completely full. So we went, decided to go to Forest Camp, and we went to Forest Camp. It was completely full. Okay, maybe we went there first. I can't remember. And then we went to Cliff House. That was closed. And then we continue up to the top part. What's that called again?
Casaroro Falls.
Casaroro Falls. There's like a coffee shop, restaurant. We went there. We had something to eat. We sat there for probably a couple hours, and we went home. I took a nap, and while I was sleeping, the electricity popped up again. So
Yeah. So what you do is you just try to kill time and you chase it. I call it chasing air conditioning or water.
water,
You know,
cool water.
you want to go to a place like I did. We just owned Tom Tom's Coffee for like 3 or 4 hours, and we kept spending our money to make sure because people were kind of looking at us funny when these guys would leave.
Was it completely full?
Oh yeah.
Really? It wasn't a mirror.
Yeah. So this guy says that we have lousy sound.
Oh, okay.
You guys
Maybe
not
it's the
hearing
fan.
us okay? Could be the same, but man.
Yeah.
Good morning, Don. Sound is okay to you. Okay, cool. So usually it's on their end. Well, when the virus is over, you come over here and we will collectively buy you a cup of coffee.
Did you decide where you want to live, Leo? Maybe I find that a lot of people don't know. They're like trying to decide where they're going to go.
Sure.
Kind of like I was in the beginning.
Sure.
But what I always tell them is actually just stay a few months every place and just rent an Airbnb, jump from one place to another, and then see how you like it in different places. A lot of people come to Dumaguete because of a lot of vloggers.
Yep.
And they see a lot of good stuff. And there's a lot of good stuff in Dumaguete, but there's so many other cities that have a lot of good stuff too. Like once this is lifted, if I don't go to Kuala Lumpur or something, if the domestic travel starts soon and the other places are closed, I'm going to go to different cities. I'm going to live 2 or 3 months in different cities just to try them out. 'Cause there's so much more to see than Dumaguete.
Yeah. I have kind of a similar idea, but different. Is I got here and set up a home base, and from Dumaguete, one reason Dumaguete I think is so popular is that you've got all means of travel. There's an airport here, there's ferries here, there is buses here. Yeah. So I'm just more comfortable with at my age and health and budget. Is always a concern. So now I'm here. Now I've got baby May. Now we can start bouncing island to island to island and still have a home base. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it depends on your adventure level. Do you want to Airbnb it in Cebu and then go to Bahama?
Yeah.
Your options are.
I think that's good when you first come here because then you can try different places. And usually when you come here, you don't have that much with you. But once you settle somewhere, you start buying things, right?
Yep.
Microwave, you buy this, you buy that. Yep. You don't like the furniture, you might buy new furniture and so on. So I would spend the first 6 months at least to a year. I wish I had done that, but traveling. So I'm going to do it on the back end. I should have done it on the front end, but
All right.
that's what I'm going to do. If domestic travel opens up and you don't have to do, 14, 21 days quarantine for swab tests here and swab tests when you get there, it's too much hassle. But if it does open up, yes, I'm going to spend 1 to 2 to 3 months in 3 to 5 different cities.
Awesome. And the good news is he's vlogging. So you guys,
you get to see it.
you guys, yeah. So you guys like get the free tour.
Yeah.
And that's what I like so much about Gio's channel, was that he was always bouncing around.
Yeah.
And there's another guy, Ned, he's got Philippine Dreams. And he goes, what he really is an expert at is reviewing hotels, And I would watch it because before I take a trip to Sikihor, he'd been to Sikihor, so I'd look up that video, and he would kind of give a 1 to 5 star rating on the accommodations. How much was it? Where was it? Was it a good location? Bad location? So I do it on a micro level, but these guys can do it on a macro level. Of before they move over here, they can get, if they're watching your channel, they can see the Hall, they can see Manila, they can see Dumaguete, wherever you go. We could go on and on naming places. And I think it would be, a great experience for both you and them.
It'd be good
Flair,
too
I get that
them,
a lot, this Ric Flair guy. I did look him up. I didn't know who Ric Flair was, but he's this wrestler. He's this outrageous wrestler guy. And I don't think we're quite the same personality. We do look alike. We do have a similar look. Kansas City, in the house. There we are, another Kansas City. Oh, good. I assume you're talking to the other Paul. All right. Yeah. Yeah, see, if you buy a scooter brand new, the registration takes a few months. But if you buy a used one, you know what? I would, personally, again, I don't give advice, but in my case, my scooter was in the shop for a long time. And I could have bought a used scooter, and I would have bought the used scooter because I knew the guy. And the guy actually sold it to my neighbor. And they did the right thing. They went to, the foreigner guy has all the paperwork, everything's squared, and they were going to a lawyer. He's done the maintenance. So you know what you're getting. And so that way I would buy a used scooter. But if you're buying a local scooter, no disrespect, but they're not going to have, in most cases, they're not going to have the proper paperwork. They're not going to have maintained it. It might have been originally their sisters, and they didn't bring that up. So you may never get that thing in your name. So
I had that happen to me because I was actually going to buy a used scooter, and this Filipino lady, she was married to a guy from Scotland or something, but he was away, so she couldn't get the paperwork. And went to the lawyer, and then the lawyer said, "No, I can't do this because he has to sign it." Said, "But you," and then she said, "I'll go to my lawyer because my lawyer knows me and this guy, and she'll let us sign it." I'm like, "No, I'm not going to do that because for all I know, you're not on good terms with that husband of yours, and he doesn't want you to sell his bike." So I'm like, I just went ahead and bought a new one. That way I know what I'm getting. And they're relatively cheap. I mean, I bought a Honda Click 125 for 73,000 pesos, which is about $1,500, give or take. And that is, I mean, when you think, if you're planning to stay here, 2, 3, 4, 5 years, and you're going to have that scooter for 5 years, that's like nothing per month.
That's right.
And that's the way you got to look at it. Because like, for me, Honda cars, Honda scooters, they go and go and go, right? So to me, that's the way I want it to go with the Honda. So there's so many different scooters here. They have, the Hondas, the Yamahas, they have the Suzuki, they have the Lucys, they have a lot of different Chinese brands. So there's a lot to choose from here. It all depends on how much you want to spend.
Yeah, but the paperwork nightmare would frighten me away from 99% of my choices of bikes. Yeah. So new, it would be probably the short answer. Yeah. What is Bowman with you running? Oh, he's got a channel. It's down the name of your channel.
Paul's Asian Adventure, and I've never done a live stream. So this Paul here is showing me how to do a live stream, and I've decided once I reach 5K subscribers, I'm going to do a live stream with my girlfriend Mia. If you watch my channel, you know who Mia is. So I'm kind of wanting to learn the ropes, and he was showing me the ropes while I show him how to use Filmora and set up his laptop stuff.
So the whole schedule today was, I got May a computer for her birthday last week, and we just left it in the box because I didn't want to fool with it. And I know Paul's much more literate with computers than I am, and so he was kind enough to come over today and set that up for baby May and myself. And then he was said, I want to do StreamYard, or I want to do live streaming one day when I hit my number. And so I said, well, hell, let's just do one. And we'll just, best way to learn is by doing it.
Yeah.
And this is, again, I'm talking to Paul here. This is, you just click each one, and that's the comments
Yeah.
that come up. How are what's the VOC? How are the VOC? I don't know what that means, Charles. I'm sorry. Good morning, Jeffrey. Oklahoma, Tornado Alley. Wow.
Yeah. I lived in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Wow.
So yeah, that is Tornado Alley. Tulsa's nice.
Nice degrees from SoCal. Filipino on your channel is making me feel homesick. Well, thank you for that contribution. We'll get a coffee on you, and we'll toast to you, mostly. And come home soon, please.
Yeah, I've lived in McAllister.
Willy Wonka.
Yeah, McAllister, Oklahoma is who he's talking about. Yeah, I lived there actually for 6 months.
We're doing good. We're doing good. Let's see. Small side note. I was going to work for immigration. So that might be changing. Yeah. I think
actually, I don't think they can change it. I think it's in the Constitution, if I remember correctly. I think you have to have like the Senate, the Congress, and to change the Constitution, you have to have quite a big criteria. So that's why it hasn't been changed. I believe, I don't know, but someone told me that. Yeah, I'd have to look it up and Google it. But if he works in immigration, he knows what he's talking about. Yeah, so maybe it's changing. I think it should change. I don't think people should be able to be born somewhere and just become a citizen. I mean, I don't think I should have been a I should have been a Norwegian citizen. I have nothing to do with England.
Yeah, it depends. Everybody's unique.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mark. We appreciate you, man. Go look at it. Yes, we do. We both have the most beautiful women there. Equally beautiful.
Not just the outside, but the inside too.
Absolutely. Both have kind hearts.
Yeah.
We really do.
What island? What's that?
It may be a private conversation. See, this thing just bounced somewhere. Here we go. That's right. Okay, here we go. All right. Yeah. Mark, my neighbor Mark, he's got Every Man Tells a Story. He does some really cool interviews with people. And he worked hard at it. But he finds guys that I've known, his style and my style are totally different, which is really great. He likes to put the person there without me or himself next to them. He did a little interview with me. He's been on my channel. But he finds the coolest guys to talk to. And I would definitely check out his channel also, guys. How you doing, Bob? Thank you for coming along for the ride. Good morning, baby May. Outside, yeah. Hi, Jack. Thanks for coming on board. 2 peas in a pod, yeah. We didn't plan this. I didn't plan this. We just decided that we would do it just for drill. And it's the end of the month, so we may as well say hi.
Yeah, that's a good one.
It's interesting. The dynamic over here is I compare. I'm always doing a lot of reflective thinking of how many friends that I've made over here, and if I'd have stayed home, I just wouldn't have made any of these kind of friends. There's a lot of like-minded people, young and old, and we all kind of. Not everybody gets along with everybody. I understand that. There's always egos and attitudes and stuff that don't mix. But, I must have a dozen people that I could say that at 3 o'clock in the morning, they would come down to the hospital if I was sick, and pay my bill because whatever happened to me. And conversely, I would do that for them. And so I can't say that from my home country. Not just in the country.
It's very social here. It's really social. And I was thinking about the same thing. I was thinking about the U.S. and like when I lived there. I had this big house, 3,000 square meters. And it felt lonely.
Yeah.
It feels lonely. Like everybody's working, so nobody has time to hang out. Nobody has. But here it's like everybody's hanging out. Hey, what are you doing? Let's go to a coffee shop. We sit at a coffee shop and talk. We go swimming. And then, by 4 o'clock, you're like, what are you doing? I'm going to go home take a nap. I'm so tired.
Exactly.
Take a nap, watch some movies. It's a good life.
Well, what happens, I think, to a lot of us, especially as we get a little older, is that the possessions don't mean anything. And I, in a similar position, when I had my house in Summerlin, it was a 4-bedroom, 2-story, and the only place I ever sat was in the living room to watch TV.
Had the
And
kitchen,
the kids were gone, the wife was gone, and everything was there. I had the kitchen and the living room and the TV, and I never went into the other rooms. And so here I have a kitchen and a TV and a bed, and that's it. And then we just move on and we live our lives. So
it's about the experience. It's not about the materialistic. It's about the experience.
That's right.
Here. If you're into the materialistic, you need to get rid of that mentality, or try to get rid of that mentality when you come here, because it's really about the experience, about going places, seeing things. The quality of life is not as high as the U.S. Like you can't get the stuff you get in the U.S. All the in the grocery stores, all the different types of restaurants, the quality of the food in the U.S. But it's about the experience, and there's a lot here that's not up to par compared to the West.
Correct.
But you gotta let that stuff go, otherwise you won't start thinking too much about it. I know people.
And you know what? You can always go home.
Exactly. Yeah.
You can always go home. But you can come out here. I thought, gee whiz, there's guys that I think they have the best of both worlds because of their budget or their situation or whatever. And they live here for 6 months and enjoy their life, and make friends, and do their thing. And then they go home for 6 months and they take care of their business or their family or their kids. And they attend graduations, visit their grandkids. They have kind of a dual life, and that's awesome, I think.
I had a friend who was a trucker.
He
lived 6 months here in the Philippines, and then he worked for 6 months in the US.
Yeah.
And then like the perfect life.
It is. It is. It's like a 6-month vacation. It's like you're a school teacher. You get the schedule of a child. 4-month vacation every year. Let's see. Respectfully, 2 things to be aware of. One, many women are expert scammers that prey on foreigners. They will use guilt about the poor life to extract money. Hospitals use cash. Both good comments. Encourage you to check out my 3-part series that I interviewed Kimmy, who is a scammer, and that's available on my channel to watch. And I also did a couple of videos with guys that have been hurt in accidents and their experience at the hospitals. And you're right on both counts.
But on the scammers, I have to say something. There's so many videos out there and so much about scamming. Before I used to feel angry at the women and poor men. I don't anymore. It's like, I have warned people. I've gone to warn people, don't buy this piece of land in her name, your girlfriend's name, and they still do it. And then they come crying me a river when they lose the land. It's like, come on, guys. It's so simple. Don't send money. Don't buy land. Don't do anything you wouldn't do in the West. Basically, why are you doing it here? It's not very hard. Keep your money in your pocket.
Right. The way my little philosophy works is you can either be a victim or a volunteer.
Yeah.
And so, forget the victim position. When you're online chatting with a stranger and she milks you for X amount of dollars, you're not a victim. You're being a volunteer. Right? You're setting yourself up for failure. It's a stranger. It could be some guy in Nigeria that you're talking to.
Yeah.
It's not even a woman. I mean, anyway, scammers are everywhere, not just here.
Even
I'm not going to get a haircut. I was going to get a haircut today, but now that you said that, I'm not going to do it. The scammers are everywhere, right? Well, right on, Mr. Smith. Thanks for jumping in. Again, this wasn't planned, and we're not going to keep it going for very long. Well, there's a generator here at my apartment complex, which they did not fire up yesterday, which we're going to have a conversation about that later. But yeah, there's portable generators that are available. But for us, we get warned that there's going to be a brownout. So yes, it does. Well, the all day ones. And so we usually, it's not so psycho. You can go out, but everybody has been pent up with the COVID. And so they really just kind of released the restrictions, lifted them or ignored them, whatever they chose to do. And everybody and their uncle was out yesterday. Number one for the brownout, and I think number two, the COVID thing was just like, we got to get out of the house.
People love to be social. They've been stuck, and this was a chance to go out.
Yeah. And the jungle drums were beating, and everybody was talking to one another, saying, "I'm going here, I'm going there." Good morning. Yeah, it's Ed McMahon over there. Next to me.
City, November 1st for 5 months stay. Oh, sounds good, man.
Yeah.
Report back and let us know where in Mexico you're at and how you like it.
Yeah.
That'd be nice. That'd be interesting to know.
I've always kept Mexico as an option for me, especially later on if I should get sick.
Yeah.
And I don't want to, if I need long-term care or something like that, because I have insurance over there that's not good here. So Mexico would be a great option for me, so you just bounce across the border and go do whatever I have to do medically. Yeah, Mexico. I think Mexico used to be really dangerous, but so it's mellowed out. I had my I did my honeymoon in Mexico.
Yeah, Mia's at her mother's grave with her sisters and brothers. So once in a while they all go there and spend all day there talking and remembering their mom. Her mom just passed away in January, so
All right, buddy. Yeah, so he kind of did what you were talking about. He bounced all around, and he ended up liking Dumaguete.
Oh, okay.
Thank you, Curtis. We appreciate you. There you go, Mike. You're taking your life phone.
Yeah.
Hey, Christopher. Yeah. Mr. Ron, that's his girlfriend right there. Yeah, Wonga, Philippines hottest girls. I've been there. I didn't see one pretty girl. True story.
No, you're joking.
I'm not lying.
Really?
I'm not lying.
You didn't see one pretty girl?
Why would I lie?
Why would I just there's pretty girls everywhere in the Philippines.
But I'm not kidding you. I went down there. I had an old girlfriend that was from there.
Yeah.
And I went to go, and she went home, and she said, "Why don't you come down here?" And I said, "No, I'm going to get killed. They're going to kidnap me." And she said, "No, I got to figure it out. We can stay at this resort and whatnot." And I said, "Okay." And everybody said, "Boy, there's that Wanda about it. Beautiful girls in the world." I said, "Okay." So I went down and I stayed for like 3 or 4 days in a resort, and we would take a trike and we would go to different restaurants. We went to the malls. We went everywhere. And I just kept telling, and she kept telling me how pretty all the girls were. I said, "Let me know when you spot one, because I'm not doing too good." And I don't know, maybe it was just those days. I got no reason to lie. I honest to God, I did not see anybody that was like, "Oh, wow."
I heard Davao has really pretty girls. And,
Yeah.
Also heard the Polo was really big. I don't know. City.
Let's see. Hi, Jen. Thanks for the Jen. I'm with Paul. I'm looking for a home base. There you go.
There you go. That's good, David.
Right on, David. All right. Indiana's in the house. Are you married? Neither one of us are married.
No, not married.
There we go. Austin, Texas. Oops. Oh, here. They're having a little love chat there between each other. Good morning, Jim Lifestyle. I think it's raining.
Oh, it's raining.
Oh, it's my mouse. Filipino women have a temper. They have emotions that get amplified. I wouldn't call it a temper. In other words, I've never seen a girl, a female, have a tantrum, you know, like in the middle of a store or something like that, and just flip out. What they actually do is they withdraw.
Yeah.
And they'll go quiet on it.
They pent it up inside.
What they don't want to do, and I've investigated a little bit, it's called tampo. What they do is they go silent. It's like a submarine. And sometimes it'll last for 5 minutes, and sometimes it'll last for 5 days. And what I've learned or observed is that her counterpart, let's just say it's me and Baby May. Somewhere along the line, I hit her really hard on an emotional level, and I hurt her. I wounded her. I cut deep, you know. I did something, said something, acted out in some way, shape, or form that really bothers her. And she will curl up, and she's not pouting exactly, but what they don't want to do, the key thing is they don't want to say the wrong thing in anger. Yeah. And so they wait until the emotion subsides. Yep. And I'll tell you firsthand with May, it's happened to us a couple of times. And she doesn't last like 5 days. She lasts like 15 minutes.
That's not a tempo. A tempo is more than 24 hours, I think.
Yeah. Well, yeah. She's gone there. And then she'll say, "Can I talk?"
The same.
She waits till she mellows out.
The same has happened to me, and I've talked to Mia extensively about this because I don't like it. I don't like it when people go quiet. I'm a communicator, and I like it when she talks to me about what exactly is happening within her, like why is she mad, what's bothering. Sometimes I have no clue. I have no clue what's bothering her. It might have been something I said in passing. It might some the way I did something, or just and if I have no clue, I can't communicate because maybe she misunderstood. A lot of times it's just a misunderstanding.
Yeah.
You know, if she actually. So she's become really good at that because I have, you know, I've told her I'm not going to put up with this tempo thing. I don't like it and I can't stand it. And I'm not going to go 3 days feeling miserable because you're miserable, you know. So she's become very good at communicating. So it's, you know, when you come here and you first meet a girl, they're a certain way, but you can also, I wouldn't say teach them is the right word, but communicate to them like how you want to grow. You grow like closer. She communicates stuff to you, and you have an understanding of things the more you stay together. You know, so I think girls are influenced by us, and we're influenced by them.
Yep.
Hopefully, I never go into tempo.
I call it boundaries. You know, I set my boundaries as to what's acceptable and what's not. Yeah. And vice versa. She should set her boundaries. And if I've done something that hurts you emotionally that level, tell me what it is. And like I said, I'm blessed because it's a 15-minute timeout that she takes. You know, yeah. And then we discuss it, and then I go, okay, I get it. And usually Paul's absolutely right. I didn't do what she thought I did. It was a miscommunication. I said a word that she interpreted as meaning one thing, and I meant something else. Yeah, he could be my son. He could be my
Daddy
son.
Paul.
Yeah. You call me Daddy. I'll be your uncle, Mary. Can I tell you your scooter when you leave? Actually, the short answer is no. That's going to go to May's brother.
You can buy my Ninja 650.
But you can buy his. Lawrence Cali, how you doing, man? Hello, Florida. Student becomes a teacher. Exactly. Knowledge is power. He's got a lot of knowledge. Yeah. I'm still waiting for my license plate. We have to go down and get these.
Yeah, they had an issue in 2018 with the plates, but that's all fixed now, I think. So I think you get it much faster now. But with the ECQ and all the quarantine, I don't know. That's probably changed again back to the
rule. Good morning. Yorktown, Virginia. Nice. A little bit of history there.
No. Anyone's guess, they keep changing stuff. Like with the back rider, right?
Yeah.
First was back riders had to. First it wasn't back riders allowed. Then it was back riders allowed with you had to have something from the barangay captain saying there was to be a living partner. Then they had you had to have a barrier. A plastic barrier was ridiculous. That was just dangerous. And then, like 2, 3 weeks after that, they announced no more barrier. So it just keeps changing. Things just keep changing here. So it could be 2 weeks from now, they say domestic travel is allowed, and then maybe a month from now, 2 months from now, they could say, okay, international travel with 14-day quarantine and a COVID test is allowed. So who knows? Really, you just don't know. It just keeps constantly changing. You know?
If I listen to my gut, I'd say December because the economy here is really hurting. And Christmas is a big time here, and December is a good travel time for a lot of people. So I think if they've got whatever it is that makes them feel good topically, a vaccine or whatever, which I've heard somebody's doing. But again, it's just so much nonsense news out there. I don't know what to believe.
I think if they open in December, they'll probably announce it in November so people can book tickets and all that stuff.
Yeah.
You're right. I mean, I think there's a lot of pressure on the government from all these companies, all these businesses. I mean, there are a lot of businesses going bankrupt or on the verge of going bankrupt.
Well, when you got Jollibee shutting down 250 stores,
Yeah,
that's a problem. And when you got 48% unemployment across the board, that's a problem.
and OFWs coming home because there's no jobs abroad, not
right.
sending money back.
Right.
And a lot of the OFWs have bought maybe not just one condo, but 2 condos, and they're renting them out on Airbnb. And now there's no one renting out on Airbnb because there's no tourism. So they owe the banks money, and they're on the verge of bankruptcy. Every month they don't have money. They're dipping into their savings. Like, how long can that go on before prices plummet? So there's a lot of effects that are going to happen if they don't open up soon. So I think obviously, if I know it, the government knows it. So they've got to make a decision.
My humble opinion is where the cure has become more dangerous than the disease.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
May's out back, and she's over here, and she was getting her computer set up. I called her, and Mia is visiting the cemetery.
Yeah.
Her mother, visiting her mother. What are you using StreamYard for? I like StreamYard. It's really easy for me to use. I don't like the software that comes with. Good morning out there in Dubai. Hello, Singapore. Weather is just started raining, so it's actually really nice.
Ooh.
It's nice.
We love the rain.
Cool. That's a fact. Yeah. Nothing, just coffee. Yeah, that would be a good idea to have Mark interview you on his channel. Sure. There you go. That's a tough call. Yeah, you're all right, David. You got my same sense of humor. Yes, what would you say?
From like 25 to 34. About 10 degrees from the coldest to the hottest.
Yeah. I got to say, since I've been here, we just came off the easiest last 3 or 4 months since I've been here. The last 3 or 4 months have been the easiest weather as far as it's just now starting to warm up. Okay, I will tell her. She's out back trying to stay out of the way. All right, man. I was
twice.
Yeah, twice. Me too. I do have the air con going. I always have the air con on when I'm home.
It's fun, another fall.
Okay, I'll let you handle that. I'm a high school graduate.
They have different universities here. Actually, in Dumaguete, they have a Silliman University. I actually toured Silliman because I contemplated taking an MBA while I was here. But it's a good university, and I've actually spoken to the graduates there, some of the graduates, and they're very professional, and their English is perfect. So But I don't know, like, if you leave the country, I don't think they look upon it as a really good, certificate or, degree. I think if you get an engineering degree here, it's not kind of the same as getting an engineering degree in America or in Europe. And I think the schools in the US and in Europe are probably better, but what you get here, I mean, the schools cost almost nothing. I think Silliman was like $400 or $500 for a semester, and that's a private university.
Wow.
So I mean, you won't even get one credit at a private university in the U.S. for $400-500. So it's worth a year. I mean, if you could take a year off and come here and do something for a year, maybe an accounting or something, I think it would be a good experience, really good experience. School is not just about what you learn; it's also about experience and learning to learn, and going places, discovering new things, discovering new cultures. I think that's part of education too. Gives you an understanding, a fundamental understanding of human beings as well. So hopefully that answered your question.
There's a place I want to show you. You guys just relax. I want to talk to Paul for a minute. There's a place I want to show you that has a Korean school compound where kids from South Korea come from all ages, not kindergarten, but elementary school to high school. And they come over here, they're in this compound, they live there, they're educated there, and inside is a coffee shop that's open to the public. So I was going to take you and me over there one time, and I'll show you around. And a friend of mine that was been on the channel, a Filipino guy that is a real estate agent, he's really a super nice guy. He gave me the tour. And so it's really interesting because what happens is these kids get educated here at this new age type of school. They go back to South Korea, and it's run by a philanthropist, a billionaire Korean guy. He does it completely on his own dime. The kids that have graduated from that school have gone on to South Korea and become more successful than the kids that stay because they got the experience.
Yeah,
which is exactly what you were talking about. So, anyway, long-winded conversation.
Can you drive a car motorcycle? Do you need a Philippine driver's license? Can you insurance? I don't know about accidents insurance, but I have my American driver's license, and I've been using that for over a year. And sometimes the police, when they stop me, they ask, and they just let you go anyway. The thing is, they have many laws here, but no one really follows the law. It's like they have laws, and I've never seen anybody get a parking fine, a speeding ticket, driving like an idiot ticket. People. It kind of scares me actually when I drive here because people, especially in cars, sometimes they drive like.
Well, then nothing happens until after there's a problem.
So
in other words, there's no police chasing you down because you're speeding.
Or drinking and driving.
Or drinking and driving. I mean, there's only a few places where I've seen a speed sign. I honestly don't know what the speed limit is going down to Dumaguete. I don't know if there is one. But I've seen guys going 100 miles an hour on the Valencia highway in a car. And I mean, there's kids, there's dogs, there's things. So these guys are just, I don't know.
And the serious buses.
From buses, those vans, we could go on and on. But
I'm more scared of that than Corona, I can tell you.
Absolutely. I'm more afraid of a van or a bus.
yeah. Well, that depends on you. I mean, I usually buy one of those bullet mixers, to make my protein shakes or to make a mango shake or whatever. But most places you go to Airbnb, they'll have a microwave. Some places will have a gas range, electric range. You have to just look up an Airbnb, and some are like fully furnished with everything. You don't need to buy anything. So, and you can negotiate also through Airbnb with the guy. Like, okay, you want to stay there 1 week, and after a week you can, negotiate. There's always availability.
Yeah.
So,
For me, it would just be my clothes, and my necessities, my phone, laptop, stuff like that. Yeah. And I've learned my lesson on traveling. Never take check-in baggage. Only on my back. Whatever I can carry on the plane, that's all I'm taking, no matter where I go.
Really?
Yeah, I don't like to check get. I don't like to check that crap.
Oh, I think he's talking about Corona. Like, I think he's saying basically that they're registering people multiple times and dying Corona. I've read that somewhere online. I don't know if it's true or not true. I think that's what he's talking about. I'm not sure.
Okay. There you go. That's exactly. Thank you for
That's
driving
exactly
home
right.
our point. Is just they're not just in the Philippines. I think it's good. Right on. Good for you, Randy. We're doing good, Randy. Thank you very much. Well, that's just too bad. Again, you're a victim or you're a volunteer. So that's the kind of conversation that's going on.
Yeah.
Okay, Mexico is safe. Yeah, I've been hearing more and more. My buddy Tripp is out there. All right, guys, we're gonna go for 3 more minutes, and then we're gonna lock it up because we just kind of did this for Paul to get the first experience. Oh, okay. Is she on right now?
Okay.
Well, we better get out of here. Yeah, I don't want to interfere. All right, so I'm going to just jump through as many of these as I can and just kind of say hi. Let's see, open there. Okay. There you go. I don't know anything about the stupid faith thing. Thank you very much. Thanks for joining in. Kids, we're going to wrap it up. I know I've missed some comments here, but we love you. We miss you. Can't live without you. Yeah, today is a holiday. Yeah, it's National Brownout Day yesterday. I think
Any
it's
day is Brownout Day. Yeah, that's
Heroes Day or something
Yeah,
like
it's
that.
Heroes Day.
Yeah. All right, kids. We're going to say sayonara. Thanks for joining in.
Thank you.
And Paul's Asian Adventures. Always make sure to like, subscribe, and share on his channel. And if you don't like, share, or subscribe to my channel, I do not blame you. All right, we'll see you again next time.